I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Matt Duchesne of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Justus Aros of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Ryan Johansson of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started with the no half step in hockey coverage, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. And once you're done learning about the show, you can click on that merchandise tab, and that's where you'll find your classic logo t-shirt, your Pride logo t-shirts, and all the other different brands of t-shirts that we have. I believe we have 7 in total now in our online store, but don't worry, we still have all the online gimmicks you've come to know and love. The Renegades of Puck for wall art, throw pillows, socks. It doesn't make a difference. You can literally outfit your entire home with Renegades of Puck merchandise and your entire body. It would be great if you would do that. That would be awesome. Stick tabs, love, and respect to each and every one of you who have picked up some Renegades of Puck merchandise. It means a lot. Each and every bit of that profit goes directly to the Renegades of Puck. You can also help us out by going to social media. That is the easiest way to support this operation. Doesn't cost you a thing. Doesn't take you but a second. Give us a like. Give us a comment. Give us a subscription on a myriad of different social media platforms. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on all of those. You can also find us on YouTube in our video podcast. You can find our audio podcast on a number of different platforms, Google, Stitcher, Spotify. We are on all of those different areas, and we are even streaming live on Twitch from the bunker. We sure would appreciate your support on any or all of those different outlets and platforms. Thank you so much in advance. Stick taps, love, and respect. We put a lot of work into our online presence, and we sure would appreciate if you would help us out by helping build those. Now, you can also become a partner of the show by going to Venmo. You can scan the QR code that's currently on your screen, or even easier, just search Renegades of Puck. Every single penny of every single donation goes to helping the Renegades of Puck, whether it is upgrading our technology and our equipment here in the bunker, or it is planning our next series of events. We'll have a fairly significantly large announcement coming up here very soon about an event coming up in the next calendar year. But everything you donate to us goes to helping. Look at this brand new microphone. Look at the quality of this brand new camera, new lights, everything here in the bunker has been put together thanks to generous donations by renegades like you. So again, stick taps, love, and respect. Sure to appreciate each and every one of you and your support. Now it's time for me to deliver the no half step in hockey coverage, so let's get to the goods. It's operation number 679 for the Renegades of Puck. That's right, in business for a hell of a long time. Show number 679 for the group here known as the Renegades of Puck. And in this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 6th place in the Central Division. They have played 20 games on the schedule already this season. That means they are done with 1/4 of the games on the schedule for the season. They have a record of 9-9-2, 20 points on the season, a home record of 6-3-2, and that's where their next game will take place. Goal differential of -12, 53 on the season, 65 given up. Their next opponent is in 2nd place. The Colorado Avalanche have played 2 fewer games than the Nashville Predators at 18, but they do have 3 more points than the Nashville Predators. A record of 11-6-1. They have a road record impressive, 7-3-0. 64 goals for on the season, 46 against. That's a plus 18 goal differential. And when I get into the metrics and the matchups between these two teams in the NHL rankings, it is very much a David versus Goliath matchup. Let's talk about the Central Division, though, before we get into the full breakdown between these two teams, because we have 2 teams from the Central playing on this upcoming Friday afternoon. The Dallas Stars are in 1st place in the division. They are the only other team besides the Preds to play 20 games within the division. They have an impressive record of 12-5-3. 2 of those wins out of their 12 coming directly against the Nashville Predators. They have 27 points on the season. At home, 6-2-1. On the road, 6-3-1. A goal differential, impressive, best in the division at plus 23, already scoring 79 goals on the season. Colorado, I just mentioned, is in 2nd place with 23 points. The Winnipeg Jets follow up tied with the same number of points at 23. St. Louis Blues now have climbed from the cellar up to 4th place, 20 points. You knew they weren't going to stay there for long. They've secured 10 victories on the season now and have a record of over 500. The Minnesota Wild have 20 points on the season as well. Then you'll find the Preds at 20, but they have played more games than the other 2 teams. Ahead of them, the Arizona Coyotes at 16. Chicago Blackhawks down in 8th and last place in Central Division with only 15 points on the season. Now, the Nashville Predators and Colorado Avalanche have already played one time this season. It was back on November the 10th. The Preds were in Denver to face off against the Avs. It was a 5-3 loss. The final score looks better than the game itself. It was an absolute blowout in favor of Colorado, with the Preds scoring 2 late goals. Preds goal scorers for the game, Tolvanen, Johansson, and Yossi. Lankinen took the loss 30 out of 35. Impressive offensive efforts, as you often see from individual Colorado skill players. Rantanen had 2 goals in that game. O'Connor had 2 goals, and McKinnon added 2 assists to it. Now, this is the second of 4 meetings between these Central Division rivals. 12-17 will be the next one. The Preds will be in Denver again, and then on 12-23, the Nashville Predators and Colorado Avalanche will close out the regular season series before the calendar even flips to 2023, when the Preds will welcome the Avs here to Nashville again. Of course, everybody remembers the last time the Nashville Predators and Colorado Avalanche faced off at Bridgestone Arena. It was during the 4-game sweep of the Preds by the Avs, the eventual Stanley Cup winners, last year in the first round of the playoffs. So the Nashville Predators now, after they wrap up this one game against the Colorado Avalanche, will face off against Columbus Blue Jackets the following night on Saturday. Tuesday, will face off against the Anaheim Ducks, and that'll close out the homestand. And then it's off to the Northeast. Thursday at New Jersey, Friday at the New York Islanders, and then 12-8 at Tampa Bay. Now listen, this is a difficult stretch of hockey coming up. The New Jersey Devils are a surging team. The New York Islanders are a pretty good team overall, as we just saw. Tampa Bay is always a great team. So there are no easy games coming up on the schedule. That is for certain. And starting this stretch of hockey off with the Colorado Avalanche. Let's talk about the Colorado Avalanche. Let's go back and just take a look at their most recent stretch of action, which is 5 games. 11-14, a 3-2 loss versus the St. Louis Blues. On the 17th, a 3-2 overtime win at the Carolina Hurricanes, then a 4-0 victory at Washington, a 3-2 shootout win at Dallas, and most recently a 4-3 loss versus the Vancouver Canucks. So for the Colorado Avalanche, it's been a bit up and down as of late, but they have managed to continue getting points against really good competition. Taking a look inside the rankings and the matchups between these two teams, and I've already said David and Goliath one time. Now let's get into the statistical metrics to show you exactly why. It is mostly top 10 metrics versus mostly lower third metrics in the league. Goals for Colorado Avalanche. This is not going to shock you one bit. 3.44 per game is 9th overall in the NHL, while the Preds, scoring only 2.55 per game, is 30th in the NHL. Goals against, the Colorado Avalanche have actually gotten better on defense, 2.56 goals against per game, 4th overall in the NHL, while the Preds are 17th overall in the NHL, giving up 3.2 per game. Shots for Colorado's 11th, generating 32.6 shots on net per game, while the Preds are 24th overall in the NHL, generating 30 shots on net. Here is one statistical metric where the Preds are ranked ahead of Colorado: shots against. Preds are giving up 32.5 per game. That is 19th in the NHL, while Colorado is giving up 33.1. That is 20th in the NHL. And this is not going to come as a shock to anybody. The Colorado Avalanche have the best power play in the NHL, converting at 34.4% of the time, 22 out of 64 on the season at this point. And the Nashville Predators power play, well, it's not that. 27th in the NHL, 13 conversions out of 78 opportunities, 16.7%. And we'll review this game against Detroit, but the power play really let the Nashville Predators down in this situation. Penalty kill, the Preds are again ahead. The only one of 2 metrics that the Preds are ranked ahead of in the NHL and the Colorado Avalanche. 12th best penalty kill in the league, 14 power play goals against. They killed off 80.6% against. Penalty kill for Colorado is ranked 20th in the NHL. They've also given up 14 power play goals against. 77.4% is their kill rate. Individual stats, and everyone on Colorado looks impressive when you go down the list. Rantanen, 13 goals, 15 assists, 28 points overall, would by far be the leader on the Nashville Predators. As a matter of fact, the top 3 scorers for the Colorado Avalanche would rate higher than every player in the Nashville Predators in individual statistics. McKinnon, of course, always lethal against the Nashville Predators. 5-22 for 27 points on the season. He has become a world-class distribution service, but you know those goals are going to come in bunches once he starts scoring them. Makar at 6-15 for 21, Lehkonen 6-10 for 16, and Nichushkin 7 goals, 5 assists for 12 points. Georgiev in net has an impressive record of 9-2-1, 9.29 save percentage, 2.40 goals against average. Last year, people felt the Colorado Avalanche's one deficiency was in net. They have certainly upgraded by getting Georgiev from the New York Rangers. He is a highly impressive goaltender right now and for the future of this league. Taking a look at the Nashville Predators stats, Forsberg, 7 goals and 12 assists for 19 points. He has fallen 1 point off the point per game pace that he's been on all season long. Now, Yossi at 4 and 12 equals 16 points. Matt Duchene has 5 goals and 10 assists for 15 points. Granlund, 2 goals and 13 assists for 15 points. Nino Niederreiter still leads the team in goals scored with 9. Add 2 assists to that, he has 11 points on the season. UC Saros, 7, 6, and 2 after the first 20 games of the season. 905 save percentage, 3.06 goals against average. The numbers coming towards the end of November certainly look a lot better than the numbers did there at the end of October. The Nashville Predators are trending upwards in wins, points, and also in statistics for certain very important players on this team. Yossi and Saros are the two that I'm thinking about mostly there. But the Nashville Predators, when you look at their individual league rankings, when you take a look at each individual metric, the Preds are lucky to have 20 points on the season. They're lucky to have a record of 9-9-2, which is 500. And frankly, they are performing above what their numbers are saying. I'm not going to bury you in the advanced analytics of this, but it's fairly obvious to see that the Nashville Predators have found a way to hang in there in this first 20 games of the season, and they are not even close to performing at a very high level. They've managed to maintain middle of the pack points and wins while putting up bottom third in the league statistical metrics in almost every single category. Got to turn some of those numbers around if they want to continue to succeed in the next set of 20 games. After that, we are at the midpoint of the season. David Poile may start to look at a couple of things. Sanford already been sent down to Milwaukee. He's cleared waivers, and he will now take the ice with the Admirals moving forward. For the Nashville Predators, 2 other things they need to think about on the injury side of things. Trennan still out day-to-day, and a lot of hockey coming up. Keep hearing that he is close to coming back. For some reason, the team took him on a 1-game road trip to Detroit, even though he wasn't ready to play. But maybe that indicates that he was not determined to not be able to play until they had gotten to the early skate or something like that. But Trennan's still day-to-day. Borowiecki, of course, still on injured reserve. Haven't gotten any sort of timeline, any sort of update on Mark Borowiecki since the post that he made personally on social media that he was home resting and getting better. And obviously, as we go into the holiday Thanksgiving break right here, certainly hope the best for Mark Borowiecki and certainly hope he's able to get back on the ice. And with that gets you all set up for the Nashville Predators, the Colorado Avalanche early afternoon start on a Black Friday. And they have the amazing promotion going on by the Nashville Predators of the in-laws ticket sales. So if you haven't caught that and you haven't seen that, it's gone quite viral around the league. 2 lower bowl tickets, 2 upper bowl tickets. Take your in-laws to the game, but don't have to sit with them. It's picked up a lot of steam, and whoever came up with that promotion over at the Nashville Predators, it's cheeky, it's funny, it's clever, and you probably did a really good job of moving whatever remaining tickets you had left for this game against Colorado Avalanche, because it's a tough sell. You know that the Predators got swept by the Avs in the first round last year. You know that the Colorado Avalanche are entering dynasty mode potentially. Now, they've only won 1 cup, but they certainly have the young core and the potential and the winning ways to become a dynasty team over the next couple of years in the Central Division. So that's a tough sell, and whoever came up with that presentation and that sales promotion, that's brilliant. Good job by you guys, Stick Taps over there at the office for coming up with that. That gets you all set up for that game. We'll recap everything that happened in the Red Wings game. Hope you stick with us through that. Then Sean C. Smith, the Renegades Puck, jumping in the trenches. And then we'll do Happy Thanksgiving and what we're most thankful for here in the bunker. We'll be back just moments with the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. Time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. Rebirth Sports. Check out their work, rebirthsports.com, social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can find them in all of those locations. They post awesome pictures, and you can see their work firsthand for yourselves. They're not just jersey makers. They are hockey tailors, and they take visions and make them reality. They're great hockey partners, and I sure do appreciate all the work we've been able to do. I'm very thankful for their relationship over the years. They transitioned from our radio days into our podcast days, and they have always been incredible partners to us here in the bunker in the trenches. So sure to appreciate everything that Doug and the crew do over at Rebirth Sports. I urge and encourage each and every one of you, check out their work today. They can make your hockey operation and outfit look so much better. Believe me, I get the comments everywhere I go. Everywhere I wear the ROP jerseys, people want to know where I got them from. It's so easy. Rebirth Sports. Now let's go back and talk about John Hines and his line deployment from 11-23 of the year 2022. And the Nashville Predators were in Detroit for a one-game road trip against the Detroit Red Wings, first meeting of the season between these two classic Central Division rivals from all those years ago. Forsberg, Parson, and Granlund make up your first line. Jeannot, Sissons, and Duchesne your second line. Smith, Johansson, and Niederreiter. Jankowski back in the lineup. Glass and McCarron your D pairings. McDonough and Yossi on the top pairing again. Ekholm and Carrier, Luzon, and Fabro. Lankinen gets the starting net for the Nashville Predators. We're 2:42 into the first period, and Carrier breaks up a 2-on-1 with the sliding block down on his belly. 4:32 of the first, Lankinen makes a save on Bertuzzi's redirect at the side of the net. Really big save right here early in the game. 5:20 of the first, Lankinen comes up with a stick save on Osterley. 7-11, Husso save on Jeannot off of Sissons' slick feed across the top of the crease. And we see lots of play between the circles. Preds may be getting the better of the offensive zone time between the two teams, but simply no shots on goal. It's fast-paced, it's highly competitive, and seriously, there's just very limited even shots towards the net as these two teams are getting after each other. That's why we go all the way to 15:37. That's when Husso comes up with a save on Parson. 16:08, Lankinen fights off a long shot. Hadn't seen the puck in a while, so good job by him right there. 17:27 of the first, Husso comes with a save on Carey Parson and setting the screen and then bringing the jam on the follow-up opportunity. End of the first period, no score. Nashville outshoots Detroit 7-6. 3:19 into the second period. Lankinen comes up with a save on Rasmussen's deflection at the top of the crease. At 4:09, though, it's Larkin getting his 9th goal of the season, team leading for the Detroit Red Wings, giving the Wings a 1-0 lead. It was a wrist shot from the circle off of the rush. The Wings bringing the speed down through the neutral zone over the blue line, and Larkin just snipes in the inside of that far upper 90. 1-0 in favor of Detroit. 7:45 into the second. Husso comes up with a save on Yossi's long shot. Plenty of traffic in front, but it will not go. 7:34 of the second period. 7:54 of the second period. Seider goes to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Don't know why I wrote 7:84, but that's clearly 7:54. Seider's off the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Husso comes up with a save on Duchesne, and then Schrott's off the box. 2 minutes for puck over the glass. Delay of game. This is going to be a 5-on-3 opportunity for the Nashville Predators for a minute and 37 seconds. And Billy Husso is about to go to work. 3 saves on the 5-on-3. Follows that up on the 5-on-4 with another huge stop on Johansson, and Husso is absolutely holding the line and keeping the Wings in this game here midway through the game. 12:34 of the second. Husso comes with a save on McCarron's wraparound attempt. 13:06 carries off the box. 2 minutes for tripping, and this is when Detroit is going to go to work on the offense. Lankinen comes up with a huge save on Perron, then follows that up with a blocker save on Perron again, but that's when Hronek scores his 5th goal of the season, giving Detroit a 2-0 lead. It was a shot from out high. All of the layers of traffic were Nashville Predators defenders. There were 3 layers of traffic. There was a high, a middle, and a low layer of traffic, and this gave Kevin Lankinen very little opportunity to see that shot as it made its way into the net. Perfect shot decision by Hronek, and he threaded it right on through to the net and into the net. Detroit leads 2-0, 17:28 of the second period. Mata's off to the box. 2 minutes for interference. Lankinen has to come up with a save on Larkin off of the rush, plus the wraparound follow-up. Shorthanded scoring opportunity against the Nashville Predators was the best opportunity of this 2-minute power play. At 19:51, McCarron's off the box. 2 minutes for a hit to the head. There was, in fact, though, no contact to the head with Seider, and Seider absolutely sold this one for the officials, and he got the call. Michael McCarron and everybody else highly confused about this one. Detroit leads 2-0 at the end of the second period. They'll have a carryover on the power play. The shots on goal are 19 now for Nashville and 17 for Detroit. Certainly picked up the pace there in the second period. That power play carries over for a minute and 51 seconds into the fresh sheet on the third, and David Perron is going to hit the post for the Detroit Red Wings, almost putting the Wings up by 3. 2:59, Husso comes with a save on Forsberg's drag attempt across the slot. Really slick move by Forsberg in close range and traffic. Husso was there to handle the business, though, with some support from a stick check by the D. 5:04 of the third, Lankinen, incredible save on Larkin at the back post. Detroit had a great rush right here. Detroit really gets the speed going through the neutral zone, and they push that Preds D all the way back to the goal line. line, and that's when Lankinen absolutely bailed the Preds out on this one. 5:55 into the third. Husso save on McCarron, and plus Glass's follow-up. Strong pressure by the Nashville Predator. They're able to roll multiple lines here from about the 5-minute period of the third to about the 14-minute period of the third, and the Preds are just dominating the play, but they are unable to get anything past Husso. 14:42, Husso comes with a save on Forsberg, and we go to the empty net scenario. 2:22 remaining, and frankly, this was the Nashville Predators' least amount of pressure in the third period. Preds did a good job until they got the extra attacker. They were unable to hold the line, hold the puck, and Detroit cashes in at 19:40. Rasmussen's empty net goal puts Detroit up 3-0, and also gives Detroit the shot advantage at the end of this game. Finishing the game with 29 shots on goal, the Preds finish the game with 28 shots on goal. They get shut out by their old nemesis, the Detroit Red Wings, on their one-game road trip. Their one and only trip they'll take to Detroit. They'll face off with the Wings one more time later in the season here at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. But for the Nashville Predators, coming off a highly successful homestand, picking up 9 of 10 points, they had an opportunity to go on the road. And sometimes in these Eastern Conference games, you can at least pen in a 3-point opportunity. That was not to be had. The Detroit Red Wings certainly picked up the pace and the flow. A little bit slow for them to start in the first period. Second period, though, they started really using their skates, getting their legs under them, and they pushed the Nashville Predators back, and frankly, the Predators did not have a good enough response, and when they did have any response at all, Husso was there to shut them down. Tough night at the rink for the Nashville Predators. Could they have performed better? They could have. But would Husso have given up anything? Not sure. One of those nights where you just seem to recognize a goaltender is absolutely dialed in. The saves he made on that 5-on-3 against otherworldly. Incredible sequence right there. And he never lost his focus. He never lost his composure. And the Wings were able to maintain their composure throughout that entire penalty kill scenario that gave them a lot of momentum. It was a classic setup. Kill off the 5-on-3, gain some momentum, go score a couple of goals, win a hockey game on home ice, go home and eat Thanksgiving turkey. Wings come away with the 2 points. Preds come away with a quick flight back home and get ready for the buzzsaw known as the Colorado Avalanche. We got the Renegades of Puck, including Sean C. Smith, coming up. Full analysis coming up here next. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Strong Style Fitness, incredible partner here of the Renegades of Puck. And listen, it's Thanksgiving. I get it. You're sitting on the couch. You're not thinking about working out. But by the end of the night, by the end of this weekend, you may start thinking about it. As we head towards the holiday time and we head towards the new year and the new resolutions and all the things that are to come, maybe it's time to get off the couch and do that first stretch, or maybe it's time to re-engage in your workout program. Well, Strong Style Fit makes it so easy and so affordable to do that. How is it so easy and so affordable? Here, this is how. The workouts are completely for free. Thanks to a partnership with the Renegades, Puck Strong Style Fitness has made 150 workouts completely free for you, and they're on demand because they're on YouTube. Self-contained, easily explained. Tracy will take you through all of the things that you need from equipment, and she'll explain each and every one of the exercise. I know about the results. I've seen the results. I've experienced the results, and so have plenty of other Renegades of Puck. Please, I urge and encourage you. Our partners are fantastic. The world, it's incredibly expensive right now. Personal training is something maybe you had to push off to the side because, frankly, it's an expense you just can't handle right now. We've alleviated that stress. Please, Strong Style Fitness will help you. I promise you. Check it out today. Great partners of the show. Lankinen in this game, 26-28. Overall, not a bad performance. He deserved better in this. The offense did not come through in this game. He faced a hot netminder on the other side of the rink in Husso. But overall, I thought Lankinen showed up, performed good, and at times was tested and made some really, really big highlight reel saves in this game. I don't know why Lankinen did not get an opportunity to play a single game on the most recent homestand. You're going to need this goaltender to be primed and ready. He's going to need to play somewhere between 16 and 18 more games this season. Now, a couple of those games are coming up as we have a Friday-Saturday back-to-back, and then next week a Thursday-Friday back-to-back. So no doubt Lankinen will be playing in 2 of those games, but I've never put it past John Hines to play UC Saros in back-to-back games. He's done it actually a number of times. That's a fairly unconventional strategy, and if you want Kevin Lankinen to play 20 to 22 games this season, you're going to have to start trusting him more. against more teams. The Arizona Coyotes, that was a perfect spot. Even if Lankinen played 2 games in a row, would have been fine. He needs the workload. He needs to be trusted. He needs to be part of this team. He deserved better in this one. That's what it comes down to. The 5-on-3. Talk about deserving better. A minute and 37 seconds of a 5-on-3. The shots were there. The actual puck movement, the zone time, all of it was there for the Nashville Predators. This did not look like their normal bad power play where nobody's moving their skates and nobody's moving around trying to look for the opening. The Preds were moving. They were moving the puck well. They were passing it well. They were working the weak side post, and the shots were coming. But Husso was absolutely ready. He was dominant on this 5-on-3, and then on the 5-on-4 comes up with another big save or two, the primary one being on Johansson. What about the rest of the game, though? Husso, he was great. Only Parson and Granlund really got in the hard, dirty areas and got in his face. When a goaltender is red hot, the only way you're really going to take him off of his game at all is to maybe distract, disturb, take away his vision, take away his sight lines, cause scrums. These are the types of things that you have to do when a goaltender is having a red hot performance. And there is no doubt Husso was having that performance. Granlund and Parson were the only two that I took note of that were really going to the blue paint, going to the hard area, and trying to work hard for some offense for the Nashville Predators. Predators got to do a better job. But as a matter of fact, I felt that there was a pretty big physical letdown. The Arizona game was a very physical game just a couple of nights ago. I thought there was a bit of a physical letdown in this particular situation with the Detroit Red Wings. Certainly wasn't the red-hot, hot-tempered game that they used to have between these two division rivals. And that's the next point. I just kind of fed right into it without even realizing it. Lack of emotion. The post-home stand letdown, 5 games at home, successful, 90% of the points. You go on the road, maybe you lose your focus for just a second. Or was it the pre-Thanksgiving shutdown? Trap game. We talked about it a lot with Arizona. Maybe this was the true trap game in here. Nashville Predators run into a hot goaltender after a big homestand, and they have a Thanksgiving shutdown coming up with a big, huge game coming up on Friday afternoon home against Colorado Avalanche. Now, let's get into this. After the game, and this comes from Emma Lingen. For you guys who don't know Emma yet, she has taken over Preds public relations, and she makes sure she communicates with the world just about everything that happens with the Nashville Predators. So I wanted to bring this from her Twitter feed. This came out post-game last night, and it was about Ryan McDonagh going up to and apologizing to Lankinen after the game. Now listen, McDonough's only been here for 20 games now. I have followed McDonough's entire career, all through the New York Rangers time, all through his Tampa Bay time, and now, of course, 20 games with the Nashville Predators. McDonagh is a leader, and he is truly a hockey player's hockey player. If he went up to his goaltender and apologized to him afterwards, that means he is already feeling comfortable enough to take a significant leadership role in the locker room and with this team. And that's nothing but good news going forward. That was a tough night at the rink for the Nashville Predators. They underperformed offensively, and defensively, they weren't able to protect their netminder enough. To see Ryan McDonagh now ascending up to the first pair with Roman Josi, and the Preds had been playing good since that change had been made, and now going up to his netminder and apologizing to him on behalf of himself and the rest of the team. This is good to see. This is something that will help bring the team together. Now, they've got a David and Goliath matchup coming up against the Colorado Avalanche. It doesn't mean they can't win. It doesn't mean they can't get a point. It just means that it's highly unlikely, based on the most recent experiences of the Nashville Predators versus the Colorado Avalanche. The Predators are probably not going to win this game, but it's the NHL. We don't go out to center ice, throw down the roster sheets and the stat sheets and declare a winner. We play a full 60 minutes, and sometimes even more. So for the Nashville Predators, Ryan McDonagh stepping up and apologizing to his netminder. The Nashville Predators clearly feeling not very good about this performance overall. Look for a big performance. Look for them to step up. And the first 10 minutes of this game is probably going to be extremely important. First 10 minutes of every game is extremely important, I know. But I'm not looking for these two teams to feel each other out in the first 10 minutes like we customarily see. I'm looking for these two teams, the Colorado Avalanche and the Nashville Predators, to really come out strong and get after each other. They know each other well, and the Preds certainly have a lot to respond to from the previous 5 games that they've played against these two teams. It's time to hear from Sean C. Smith. I've given you my analysis now, and I can't wait to hear from Sean. I know there wasn't a lot to talk about from last night's game, but I sure do appreciate Sean on Thanksgiving break jumping in the trenches right here and filing this report. From A2ZSports.com, you can find him on Twitter at SCSNSH, and you can watch him right now.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegade, Sean C. Smith back again. Want to talk a little bit about the game against the Detroit Red Wings, and while, of course, the result was probably not what anybody wanted, aside from people who cheer for Detroit, it was not the worst game you've seen. And the problem was the Predators looked pretty good all night, but at the end of the night, they were not able to get anything past Ville Husso, who has stymied the Preds before. So here's the thing I'm going to say, and this is not unique to the Detroit Red Wings. It's not unique to the Predators right now, but one of the biggest things that is a detriment to the style of game the Predators play is speed. And when you have a fast team, in this case Detroit, very young team with a lot of quick players, it kind of creates some problems. And after the game, Mattias Ekholm made the comment that they didn't do a very good job of screening Husso. He saw everything that was coming. And that's kind of the problem with speed, is that the Predators, they could get down there, they could get in the zone, they could get established, but the Red Wings were already down there as well. And they were kind of able to get the Preds out from right in front of the net, except for a few times there you saw, and I saw some great flurries in front of the goal, but they never really made anything happen. And the biggest thing, I'll just say this, you've got to capitalize on a two-man advantage. That's probably the story of the night, that the Predators had a glorious, long, extended two-man advantage and were unable to get anything going. And that's been one of the bigger problems. You've seen the power play struggle, and they even kept out the first unit for that entire two-man advantage period, and they couldn't get anything done. I'll say this. It could have been worse. It probably felt like the score should have been worse, but 2 goals to no goals is not the biggest margin of victory, especially for a team that looked like they were getting down there quickly and doing what they needed to do to make things happen. The Predators playing a little bit of catch-up. So Colorado Avalanche coming up, they're a little bit banged up, but that's another fast team, and we've seen what happens when the Preds play the Avalanche already. Hopefully they've got something different. Maybe some of those injuries are going to hurt them a little bit more than they were expecting, and the Predators will have something after resting up for a day. So that's really all I've got. Kind of a short thing. We've got turkey in the brine. We've got cornbread in the oven. We've got everything going to get ready for a nice and wonderful Thanksgiving. Of course, Renegades, I'm thankful for all of you. Hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And Charlie, I'm going to send it back over to you, and happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
He's the one and only Sean C. Smith, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well. Sean, can't believe how awesome it is to have such a great person like you and have such a great family like yours in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. Man, it really, really brings me great joy to get a chance to be around you and your family and to see little Kalen out there wearing his ROP jersey and sporting it proud. It really makes me happy. So happy Thanksgiving to you, Sean, as well, and thank you so much for all that you do. For the rest of the Renegades of Puck, I gave them the Thanksgiving break for the most part off. Everybody has things they want to do. I'm the only one that's somewhat disconnected completely from a family, reality, earth, and all of those type things. So it may be Thanksgiving, and I am extremely thankful for that, but I will be staying here in the bunker. I'll be working throughout the entire weekend, and it may be just me in the trenches, but that's all right because the Renegades of Puck, they're out there, they're celebrating, and it's great to see joy and to have them be happy and to have all of them as friends. We'll close the show with more thanks. Let me tell you first about one more great partner, Stripe Digital Solutions, stripedigitalsolutions.com. Of course, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Stripe Digital Solutions is my digital partner. Helps me with everything. Help design the crest on the wall that you see behind me. Help design the logos for the t-shirts. Help design our website, renegadesofpuck.com, and to this day helps me with social media strategies, brand building, and all of these things. You may have noticed most recently the Renegades of Puck have started microcasting. That's right, breaking out smaller segments, posting different things. All of this comes from the advisement of Stripe Digital Solutions. Brandy is always looking out for her digital clients and trying to help them excel and exceed expectations in every way. And that's exactly what we have started to do here. The Renegades of Puck are being seen and being heard by more people than ever, thanks to our great partners like Stripe Digital Solutions. Sure to appreciate everything that Brandy has done over there to help us out. Now listen, the box score, it's highly unimpressive and there's not a lot to talk about, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. There's no goals, no assists to report on. We don't talk about plus minus on this show anymore. Roman Josi had 5 shots on goal. That led the Nashville Predators in shots. The second high was 3 by Parsonen. Good to see him getting more shots on net. Block shots 2 was the high. Carrier and Ekholm, the only ones with 2. A couple of individual ones. Not a whole lot going on. Hits 3 was the team high. McCarron, also Carrier, and also Luzon. Not a lot of physical play beyond that. Time on ice, Mikhail Granlund, not a shock right there, 2023. And time on ice led the forwards, and Roman Josi, the captain, led the team in total time on ice, 26:05 in time on ice. Kevin Lankinen goes 26 out of 28, takes the loss, 1 empty net goal, makes your third goal. So really, just truly not a lot in the box score and not a lot to discuss as far as statistics go. That's another reason that I've given Brian Baston from the Renegade Analytics desk the night off. There was absolutely no reason for him to come in and break down a performance like this. The Nashville Predators simply didn't get it done tonight, and they'll have to turn things around very quickly and put in a much better effort against the Colorado Avalanche and against the other teams coming up on their homestand. Big 4 points Friday and Saturday, and then a huge next week heading off to the Northeast for the New Jersey Devils, the Islanders, and then heading down to Florida for Tampa Bay. So I hope everybody enjoys the Thanksgiving break. There is a ton of hockey to come. Back-to-backs, 2 of them in the next week. The Nashville Predators will play a significant amount of hockey here at the end of November and the beginning of December, and then they will have a brief couple of days break coming up here pretty soon. So for the Nashville Predators, they've really got to close out this homestand 3 games as strong as they possibly can. I know it's a tough ask against Colorado Avalanche, but the Preds got to find a way. They just have to find a way. That's all there is to it. It's the NHL, and there are possibilities to beating teams. David did beat Goliath. It's the reason we still talk about it today. So it's possible. Anything's possible in a one-day game event. But we'll be here to break it down. We'll be here to talk about it, and we'll give you the results, the analysis, the full game recap, the box score, no matter the results, obviously. Jumping in the trenches after a 3-0 victory and talking about virtually no statistics and having none of the Renegades in the trenches. That's not the easiest show to do, but it's one that I'm not afraid of, and it's one that I've done many times before, and I'll probably do it many more times in the future, unfortunately. I want to end with talking about thanks. It's Thanksgiving. Again, I'm fairly disconnected from any blood family reality and from earthbound concerns. I have you. I have the Renegades of Puck. You are my chosen family. You are my life. You are what I have given up everything for. I gave up my career in radio to go ahead and bring this operation independent so that you and I could have a place to go, so that we could have a future together in the trenches and in the bunker. And I cannot express to you how much it means to be able to come out to this studio and talk to each and every one of you directly and to see that it's getting results. This is a hockey community that I am building out of love and respect and positivity, and that takes a long time to build. If I wanted to be negative, if I wanted to just come in here and rant and rave and say the worst things I could possibly say on a microphone, believe me, it would probably draw more clicks, it would get more hits, and I might even get more replays, and some of those digital advertisers might even be more interested in me. But that's not what I want to create here. I want to create a place for all of us to throw off the outside world and come together in celebration of the great game. Does the great game itself have problems? It sure as hell does. But we have to be here to keep fighting against that part of the culture. Throwing your hands up, walking away, quitting is never going to fix any of it. The Renegades of Puck never walk away. We fight. It's hockey trench warfare. We want to make the culture better. We want to make it more positive. We want to make it stronger. We can accomplish that by doing it together. You support this operation, and I will promise you, I will never go anywhere. We will keep delivering the essence of No Half Step, and we will keep bringing you the goods. I'm so thankful to be a part of this hockey community, to be a part of the rec hockey community, to be a part of the USPHL and Spartan hockey community, to be a part of the Nashville Predators community and everything else. We have seen the hockey community go here in the Middle Tennessee area from almost nothing back to the blood, sweat, and beers days when they were the only team and they were going up against the Wampas on a weekly basis. Now we have hundreds of hockey programs here in the Middle Tennessee area. I could not be more incredibly thankful for all of it. And the Renegades of Puck are right there on the front lines as a part of every single bit of it. Stick taps, love and respect, Renegades. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being my family. Thank you for being my friends. And thank you, most important of all, for being Renegades of Puck.